If you hear children screaming, I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep them quiet, but this isn't the normal time that I film. This is like later in the day than I normally would film because I have stuff going on tomorrow morning. So we're just rolling with it, and you might hear some loud kids. Hey guys, so I am Jessie, and today I have another book haul. And I know I told you guys I'm trying to like save money, but Amazon had a sale, like the buy 3 get 1 free, or the buy 2 get the 3rd one at free or whatever. So they had that, and then Target had the same deal, and I had gift cards. So mind you that I had gift cards for Amazon and for Target. And then I hit 1K, and I had some friends send me some gifts, and it just snowballed and shit happened, and I now have enough books to do like a proper haul. So I have a bunch of books all by one author, so I'm gonna start with those. And that is my stack of Schwabs right here, and I have 4 Eswap books that I hauled this month, and 2 of them I bought myself, 2 of them were gifts. If you don't know, I have been doing my self-proclaimed Schwabtober in the month of October, and I wanted to read all the Eswap books that I could fit in the month, and because of that I picked up a few extras. On top of the ones that I already had quite a few Eswap books. So the first one that I picked up was City of Ghosts. This is her middle grade book, and I didn't know much about it going into it. I actually have read this since already. Basically, this is about this girl who has a near-death experience, and because of that, she can now see ghosts, which is ironic because her parents are paranormal investigators. And now her and her family and her ghost friend, who only she can see and talk to, are going to Edinburgh, Scotland to investigate ghost sightings, basically, for a TV show that they're going to be a part of. It's a very, very cute middle grade series, and I really enjoyed it. I flew through it. This is one that I will definitely like save for my daughter when she gets to this like level of reading, because it's a really, really well done, and I enjoyed it. We'll just put that there. The other Eswap book that I bought, I've actually finished already as well, and that is Vengeful. This is the 2nd book in the Villains series. The first book is Vicious, and I have, like I said, read this already. I loved it. I didn't love it as much as Vicious, but it was still really good, and I still really enjoyed it, and I think she's going to be doing a 3rd book in this series, which makes me really happy, especially with how this one ended. I want more. But basically, this series as a whole is about Victor and Eli, and while they are in college, they decide to see if they can figure out how to become what they call EOs, extraordinaries, people with powers, the X-Men, whatever you want. And basically, you have to have a near-death experience in order to gain powers, and it's them and their experience doing this. And there's a very jumpy timeline in both books. It is now, 10 weeks ago, 10 years ago, 2 months ago, yesterday. Like, that's how the chapters are all broken up. And it bounces around, but it's really, really good. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I didn't enjoy this one quite as much as Vicious, but it was still really, really good. Alright, the next one I got was actually sent to me. The next 2 I got actually were sent to me by Michael, and he is in our Discord. And the first one is Tunnel of Bones. This is the follow-up to City of Ghosts. I'm very excited. I'm going to be reading this one soon. Hoping to fit it in at the end of October. You may or may not see that vlog before this. I'm not really sure when the Schwabtober vlog will go up. But yeah, this is the follow-up for City of Ghosts. And I just explained City of Ghosts, so really I don't. It's about a little girl that can see ghosts. And this one I'm actually in the middle of, and it is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. what can I say about this? I'm halfway done and it's beautiful and I'm loving it. And I don't want to give any spoilers away because it is just so well done. I'm actually still waiting on my Owl Crate edition. Michael was kind enough to send me this because he wanted me to be able to read it with my Schwabtober vlog, and the Owl Crate edition will not be here probably until November because it's got shipping delays, which is fine. But I'm just so happy to have my hands on it. If you don't know, I don't know what rock you've been living under, but Addie LaRue is like V.E. Schwab's novel that she's been working on for, I guess, like 10 years now, and she's finally gotten it out. It is a standalone as far as I'm aware. It's about this girl named Addie who in the 1700s runs away from her wedding and makes a deal with an ancient god in the dark, basically so she can live forever, but everyone will forget her. No one remembers her after they're not like in her line of vision, basically. And it's her story, and so far I'm just in love with it. Another book that came from Michael is Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. This is one I've been like really wanting to pick up because I want to watch the TV show. Everybody raves about it, but I want to read the book first. And I have never read anything by Neil Gaiman or Terry Pratchett, so once I get to this, it will be my first like foray into both of them. All that I really know about this is that it is like an angel and a demon, and they are both here on Earth trying to prevent the apocalypse together. And I know that David Tennant is in the show, and 1000% that is what made me gravitate towards it, because David Tennant. Like, that's it. That's all you need to know. One that I picked up for myself is Sleeping Giants. This was in the Amazon sale. I know Monica and Mooney Reads absolutely loves it, and that's kind of why I was like, ooh, drawn to it, because like I trust her opinions so much. I know that it's about this girl who basically finds this like metal hand giant thing one day, and I honestly have just been wanting to read more sci-fi. I don't read enough sci-fi, and this is sci-fi and it's a series. So I'm excited to read it and see what all the hype is about. Another one that I grabbed was All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. And y'all, do y'all want to know the real reason I picked this up? Somebody had told me at one point this book reminded them of like a YA Moana. And that's all I needed. This book is about this princess who basically has to prove her powers and prove that she deserves her spot. Something goes wrong on the day of her testing, and she kind of has to figure that out, what just happened. So I think she has to like go on a quest. I believe there are like mermaids and pirates, and I mean the cover, come on, you know it's so pretty. And you know I'm a sucker. But really the thing that sold me on this was somebody telling me that it was like adult or like YA Moana, and I wanted to know more. The next book that I picked up is Mexican Gothic. I picked this up before my friend Monica read it, and now I'm not so sure about it. Everyone seems to love it, but I think there's some tropey stuff in here that doesn't speak to me so much, but I'm going to go into it positive, and I'm going to hope that it doesn't bother me and hope that I love it. I do not want to say exactly what it is. Monica, I don't think has a review out yet. If she does, I'll like link where she talks about it. She kind of talked to me about it, and I'm like, but she said it was still good. So like that's the hang up. Is she said it was still good, but it had these few things that like I don't tend to like either. We discussed it, but I'm still excited to read it. It's supposed to be like a Mexican Gothic horror, and I don't read a lot of horror. I don't read a lot of Gothic horror, especially. I don't read a lot of any horror, so I'm excited to check it out. And she even said that I might like it more because I'm not familiar with a lot of like Gothic horror. Another book that I got, and this one was sent to me by a subscriber, Thomas, thank you so much, is Bear and the Nightingale, and I'm so excited to read this. I actually want to read this in December. It's very just gives me these winter feels. And like everyone I see talk about it, like talks about how it has this very like fall winter feel. And since I'm here in Florida and we don't have a real winter, I want to read the books that make me feel like it might be winter in my mind. And I know that this is something that everyone seems to say is just very wintry. I know it's about this girl named Vasya who, like, I think her mother dies, her dad remarries. The stepmother is a very, very, like, I believe it's like Christian. I don't know if it's actually Christian or if it's like just like based on Christianity, but basically trying to get out the old like pagan ways of this town. And there's this, I guess, like demon god or something along those lines. It's very like Russian folklore. So that's all I know about it. But the reason I wanted it and had it on my wish list was because of the winter vibes. This book was sent to me too. This is from my friend Vish at Books with V. I'll link her channel. This is House of Dragons, and I'm so excited. She loved this book, and I know I'm gonna love it because this book is a dragon book that actually has dragons in it. Because I'm kind of tired of dragon books that aren't dragon heavy. Like, come on. I'm really excited for this one. It's basically like this competition because I think it's like an heir dies and that these different houses are all like called to compete to be the next ruler. And I'm just super excited. I love a good competition story. I love dragons. The next book was sent to me by the author, and that is Fitz Crusade. This is the first book in the Chronicles of Fid series. I don't know too terribly much about it. Obviously, I try to go in pretty blind. There was a like author interview on Eric's channel over at Break Even Books that I will link. That is what got me interested in it, and I started looking into the book a little bit more and the author, and then the author reached out to me on Instagram and offered to send me the book, and I was like, yes please, it seems so good. So here we have it, and I'm really excited to get into this. It sounds like just a really cool fantasy story that's like superheroes. It's like a superhero kind of story, and you know I love superheroes. Alright, the next two books were sent to me by my friend Sharon, and the first one is Sandlin Ascends. This is the first book in the Tower of Babel series. I don't know much about this one either. I'm a terrible person. I don't know too terribly much about it. I know that it's about this guy whose wife is like taken away and he has to go save her. And I know that Alan at Library of Alexandria absolutely adores this book, and like that is 100% the reason that I want to read it, is just Alan's review. So he just got me hyped for it. I will like link him down below too. Check him out. He loves this. I also got Traitor's Blade from Sharon, and this is another Alan made me add it to my wish list book because of how excited that he was in his review. I don't even need to know the synopsis. Just watching Alan talk about books makes me excited. It makes me want to pick up those books. So yeah, I'm the worst booktuber because I can't formulate what these books are about or why I want to read them. It's just Alan made me do it. I also picked up Elantris. This is one of Brandon Sanderson's earliest books. I believe this is his first published work. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it is. This is in the Cosmere. I need to add the rest of the books of the Cosmere to my repertoire. I'm trying to get through all of them at some point, and this is one that I was missing. I know that they go to this like lost city where everyone is like dead or undead, and like I don't completely understand what's going on in like the synopsis, okay? But who was it? I want to say it was Elliot Brooks mentioned that it's like fantasy zombies, and I'm like, fucking sold. Like, come on. I'll see if I can find the video that she mentions it being like fantasy zombies, and I'll link it for you. I also picked up A Deadly Education by Naomi Novak. I did pick this up prior to the controversy surrounding it, but I already had it. I'm probably still gonna read it. It still sounds like a cool concept, so I'm still going to read this book since I already have it. It is like a deadly magic school where there's no teachers, no tests. You basically just have to survive. And I'm really curious to see how they do this. So I wanted to know. It seemed really cool and the cover was really pretty and it's like deadly magic school. Like, sign me up. But yeah, I'm curious to see what this book ends up actually being. So my friend Kristen over at Red Red Wine sent me this and y'all are gonna laugh so hard. It is a Keanu Reeves coloring book. And you might not know, but I have a huge crush on Keanu Reeves. That man is a treasure. He is an international treasure, okay? Like, I love his movies. I love, like, just all the, like, stuff that comes out about him where it's like, oh, what was it, like a flight broke down, like they couldn't fly, so he decided to pay for every single person that was on the flight to, like, rent this, like, party bus and take the party bus to the next airport or something like that. Like, he just seems like the nicest guy. But then he could, like, kick your ass because he's John Wick. So, like, I'll take it. I'll take 2, please. And along with that, Kristen also sent me Queen of the Unwanted, which is the sequel to Women's War. I have a full review for Women's War that I will link for you. It's a very underrated adult fantasy book that I think more people should pick up. This is the sequel and I can't wait to see what happens next. Another gift was Bloody Rose. This is the sequel to Kings of the Wild. I loved Kings of the Wild and I'm really excited to read this one. Kings of the Wild was your, like, 70s rock band, like your classic rock. This is like your 80s music, I believe. And I'm so excited. This is actually the daughter that they had to save in Kings of the Wild. So this is her story and I am just, like, so hyped because I loved Nicholas Eames' writing in the first book. Just the humor, it was my jam, okay? I loved it, so I'm really, really excited to see what happens. I know there's supposed to be a 3rd book that's like 90s hip hop, so whenever that comes out, I'm just, like, first in line. My last gift that I received is Assassin's Apprentice, and this came from my friend Katrina, and I'm again really excited. I've heard such good things. I will link a review that Leslie over at the Nerdy Narrative did for this book because, oh man. Apparently this is soul crushing and I don't know if I was expecting that or not, but I'm excited to read it because I like things that are soul crushing, obviously. Like, some of my favorite books are like The Poppy War and the Mistborn series and, like, things that will probably rip your heart out. So why not add one more series that rips your heart out to the mix? All right, the last books that I have are part of that, like, sale that was going on. And the first one was the volume 1 of the Umbrella Academy graphic novels. I love the show and I really wanted to read the graphic novels that it's based on. For one, I love Gerard Way, who is the writer. And if you didn't know, he is also the lead singer of My Chemical Romance, which was my jam back in high school. Like, I loved My Chemical Romance. I had a big crush on Gerard Way. Yeah, don't ask. Tight pants and guy liner. Not my taste now, but you know, whatever. It was my thing. I'm really excited to see how this differs from the show, how it's the same, what they changed, because I know Gerard Way was very involved in the show as the author, so I know all the changes were, like, approved by him, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just excited to see the changes. So yeah, I'm excited to see what I end up thinking of this. And the last books that I picked up, these ones are from Target. And they were also the buy 2 get 1 free, and I had a gift card, so these ended up being super cheap, and I've been wanting to add these to my collection for a while, and that is all 3 books of Era 2 of Mistborn. That's Shadows of Self, this is not in order, Alloy of Law, and Bands of Mourning. This one's actually the first one, Shadows of Self. Alloy of Law. I have read Alloy of Law and Shadows of Self. I am the odd man out. I like Era 2. Fight me. Like, Wayne is fan-freaking-tastic, and you can't tell me any different. I like Era 2 Mistborn. Like, I just do. I have not... My kids are like yelling. I have not read Bands of Mourning yet, but I do plan on getting to this very, very soon. I want to know what happens. The only thing that kind of put me off of reading this one is I know that there's a 4th Wax and Wayne that's going to be coming out, but like he hasn't even started working on it yet. Okay. But Brandon Sanderson has said that it's on the docket or whatever, the 4th Wax and Wayne book. So it's like, do I want to read this knowing that like the 4th book isn't out yet or doesn't have a release date? But then again, it's like, it's Brandon Sanderson. Like, he writes like a madman. Like, he'll get it out. So many things to think about when it comes to books. But yeah, that is my my book haul. I have a lot of books that now need to be put away. Like, should we try? Should we try it, guys? I don't know. Alright, we're just gonna start like... So, this is about all I can pick up. Ah! Well, we held some of them. That's all that's happening, y'all. Sorry. We tried. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed my really massive book haul. I'm gonna try not to shop so much, but again, like I said, I can't make any promises on that. I'm making up for last time here. But hopefully you enjoyed this, and let me know which of these you are most excited about. And hang out with me again, because my name is Jessie and I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Bye.